Welcome to your joint freeing series. So we have many joints in the body, and this short practice is really just about creating a bit more freedom, a bit more lubrication, getting things feeling a little bit more fluid and light. I invite feet to be hip distance, and how you can measure that is take a moment to bring the feet together and then separate the heels at the back and then let the toes follow suit. Start from the ground up and just give the toes a wiggle to begin with. Remember, this is your body. It doesn't have to look anything like my body or anybody else's body. So it might be that there's some pain. Maybe you've got arthritis or something like this going on in the joints of the toes. So you're just being curious about giving the toes a bit of a wiggle. And then we'll inhale and lift the heels and exhale, lower them back down. Inhale, we're matching the movement with the breath. Exhale, lower. Don't worry about wibbly wobblies. It's just the body finding its balance. So just like anything in life, the brain learns through repetition. So maybe this is the first time you've done something like this in a good old while. So just see how it goes. Notice if the shoulders are trying to do a big old bunching up, like, okay, relax the shoulders. We're just becoming a little taller. Like here, we grow, we land back down to earth. We rise, we come back down to earth. Lovely. And we'll come into a bit of a wider stance now. So step the feet a little bit wider and soften into the knees. So we're just being curious about how the knees feel. Knees, of course, are a joint. And you're not kind of doing a really vigorous, aggressive bounce. It's just, maybe we're on the dance floor doing a little, how low can you go? So no pressure again, just make it up. If other parts of the body want to join in, go for it. But it might be a tendency to go, oh, my knee. As soon as we go, brace for impact, then the pain is amplified. So nothing wrong with, oh, my knee is sore. Okay, my knee is sore. Do I stop? Do I go a bit more gently? Freedom in the joints, freedom. Yeah. And then just a little gentle sway. So keeping the softness in your knees, a little gentle sway in the hips. So, imagine like a big pendulum. We can go anywhere in our imagination. That's the beautiful thing about our imagination. You can imagine just a big ticking clock if that's easier, but that just something is giving you a sense of sway. Again, don't worry about it looking like anything else in anybody's body. Only you know your body. So how are your hips? Feel free to put your hands to the hips. And then you might come into circles. So it doesn't have to be perfect. If it suits your body to take your feet wider, because that gives you more space. And just be curious about how the breath is. So when we're moving, motion is lotion. This is one of my favorite catchphrases at the moment. Motion is lotion. So change direction. So we're getting that circulation moving around the hip girdle, the pelvic bowl. Notice if the feet have gone into a grip pattern. Trust your body. I know sometimes that can be a big ask, but know in this moment there's so much that is working in your body, that you can stand, you can see, you can hear, you can move your hips, even if it's just a little bit. Beautiful. So stand however feels comfortable now, and we'll come into moving up into the shoulder region. So starting with some shoulder rolls. And know that this is something that you can include anytime you need to. You start to perhaps feel a bit stressed. Come back to the body. Because the mental patterns can take us down a slippery slope pretty quickly, can't they? I know when I get stressed, it's like, oh, okay, where can we just come back to the body? change direction. So we start to notice what our patterns are and how the body is holding certain stories. So instead of focusing or rehearsing on worst case scenario, which can be a tendency, it's known as the negativity bias, you know, like say for example, you wear a lovely dress or a great pair of trousers and somebody goes, oh wow, I love your dress, love your trousers. And then there's one person that goes, not sure about the dress, not sure about the color. And then we focus on that. We forget the other 10 compliments that we've had. So it's an effort to change our patterns, but it's absolutely possible. And a little bit of freestyling into the elbows. Maybe we're directing traffic, imaginary traffic. If we did this in real life, I'm not sure how well that would go. So if you want to do it one at a time, or maybe it's more like, I'm going to stir my pot. I'm making my stew. Maybe you're doing it both at the same time. And then change direction. So how do the elbows feel? Hey elbow, how's life as an elbow? It's very important that we maintain a sense of humor in life because goodness me, life comes with trouble and turbulence and pain and suffering. So remember, each and every moment, each and every day, we have a new opportunity for changing our perspective. Beautiful. Come into the wrists, little fists with the hands. We've got 8 bones in the wrist, so it's quite an interesting area to work with. You're just making some movements. Change direction. And the beauty about yoga, this is a lovely warm-up for a yoga session. So this is absolutely yoga, moving our body and paying attention to our breath. That's yoga. Yeah. And then shake out the hands. So to get into the many, many digits that we call fingers and our lovely opposable thumbs. What would life be as a human without these wonderful opposable thumbs? And then are we having a thumbs up moment? Are we? No, thumbs down. You're just noticing. So we learn to pay attention to more what's going on in the inner geography, the inner landscapes. Good, a few more things. Just flicking things off your fingers. And then relax the hands. Just a couple of movements into the head and neck. Feel free to close the eyes if this feels in any way disorientating. And then come back to center. One hand on the belly again, one hand on the heart. And just notice how you feel. With the deepest acceptance of it. You might like to join me in making a hand-to-hand gesture known as Anjali Mudra, or maybe you know it as a prayer gesture. So we're just honoring that you took time, you took space, you took effort to connect with your body, your breath, your feelings. And that is a wonderful and beautiful thing. Namaste. The wisdom in me bows to the wisdom in you.